Hey everyone, so over the next week I'm going to put up 3 different videos with 3 different practice solves. I'm also going to include a link in the description which is going to be helpful for beginners in the CFOP method with their 2-look OLL and 2-look PLL. So once you get to those stages of the solves, definitely bring that website up. Other than that, let's get into the solves. So this is going to be the first scramble, and it's going to be done with white on top and green facing us, and I'll put the scramble just at the top up here. So it's going to be D2, R prime, U2, back prime, down, F prime, back prime, L2, R prime, back to F2, R, U2, L, U2, L, back to F, D prime, L prime. Okay. So the first thing we do now is we look for our cross pieces, and we have one here, 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 and back here, okay? Now, I notice we have this red cross piece here, which is on the opposite side of where it needs to be. So we're actually gonna solve this cross by opposites, meaning that we're gonna put cross pieces on in the opposite positions at the bottom, and then we can do a 180-degree turn of the bottom layer, and that'll put them in their correct position, okay? So we see here we have this, this orange piece here. So for example, we could put this down, do a D2, and we see this is solved and this is solved. But we're gonna go back, we're not gonna do that quite yet. So we see we have this green piece here. So if we can put this down to here, it would also be in its opposite position from where it needs to be. So we could go like this, put our orange down, put our green down to the bottom. So we see we have our red cross piece that needs to go here, our orange cross piece that needs to go here, and our green cross piece that needs to go here, okay? So we can simply do a D2 like this, and we see now we have our orange piece solved, our green cross piece solved, our red cross piece solved, and the blues right here. We can just go like this, and we see we have the full cross solved now. So we'll move on to our F2L. Okay, so the first F2L pair I see is right here, okay? And we're gonna put these 2 pieces here so that we have orange, blue, white, okay? But we need to pair them up first, and I see here we have the orange on top and the white here, which means for this piece, we wanna put it basically over here so we can pair them up. So we can simply pull this down, move it across, pull it back up, and then since we have this position over its slot, this piece, we can pair them up like this. They're paired up. We can push them into this corner, and then when we push them down, we have it solved right here. Cool. Next 2 pieces I see are these 2 right here, and from what I can see, we have. What we want to do is we want to keep this position in the same place, but we want to move this piece so that we have the last piece, the orange on top and the white on the outside. And we can do this by, if we move this down, we can do a U2, move this up, and you see we have the orange on top and the white on the outside. And we can move it over its slot. Then we can pair them up like this. Then we can insert it, and then we can push it back down, and we've got that done. So that's 2 F2L pairs done now. The next one I see is we have this red and green edge piece, and we have the red, green, and white cross piece, okay? So we can see in this situation, they're both red on top, okay? And we have the white on the outside here. So we actually want this piece to just go over here, okay? So we can move this down, move this across, move this back up, and we see that they're paired up now, and we want to insert them here. So we can go like this, bring up the slot, insert it, push it down, and we've got that solved. Okay, so now on to our last pair, and it's pretty much the same as the last pair. We're going to be pushing this piece over to here, but it's not as simple as just doing this, because if we just push this down, move this piece to here, and push this up, you'll see that although we've paired them up, we've also taken this pair out here, which is not what we want. So we're going to put that back in. So what this basically means is we want to pair these up, but we don't want to do it in a way that affects any of our F12 pairs. So we don't want to affect these two pieces, or these two pieces that are already solved. So basically what it means is in order to pair them up, we're going to have to only be affecting these two pieces. So what I can do is I can move this piece over to here, then I can put this down, move this across and pair them up like this. And as we see, none of the F12 pairs that we've already solved have been affected. Then we can simply do a U2, bring the slot up, insert it, and bring it back down. And there we've got our F2L solved. Okay, so now we're on to our OLL, and we see that we have this case here after finishing our F12. Now, for this OLL, we're going to use 2-look OLL, which means the use of two algorithms to solve the top face. So the first algorithm, what it does, it'll solve each of the edge pieces here. So this piece, this piece, this piece, and this piece. So we'll have this nice cross here, fully finished. And we might also have a couple of the corner pieces finished as well. Okay, so that's the first step of 2-look OLL. The second step is the corner step. So any of the corner pieces that haven't been solved yet, the second step will solve those ones through the algorithms they use. Okay, so for this case, if you look on the sheet on the website, you see we have this nice bar in the middle here. So we're going to do this algorithm to get the cross in the middle here. So we're going to do F, R, U, R prime, U prime, F prime. Okay, so you see we have this piece solved, this piece solved, this piece solved, this piece solved, giving us this cross. And we've also got a corner piece solved, okay? So the second step of 2-look OLL is the corner step, which is going to be solving this face, and this face. So we can go like this, and we can do this algorithm for this case. Like that, and we see we have the top face solved, which leads us to our PLL. Okay, so now on to PLL, which means we're going to be solving this top layer up here, and ultimately we'll solve the cube by doing this. Okay, so we're going to be using 2-look PLL to solve this. It's going to involve two algorithms to solve this top layer. What the first algorithm does is it solves the corner pieces into their correct orientation, and the second algorithm solves the edge pieces into their correct orientation, okay? So hopefully, if you've brought up that website I've told you to at the beginning, it'll be a big help here. So looking around the cube, and I see right here we have this one side where these two pieces are the same, which we call a set of headlights, okay? So anytime we have a PLL case where there's only one side where these two pieces are the same, and if we notice here we've got blue, blue, red, green, orange, red, green, orange, okay? So this is the only side where these two pieces are the same. So what we do is we put that to the back of the cube, like this, and we do this algorithm. It's going to be R prime, F, R prime, back to R, F prime, R prime, back to R2, okay? Now, what that's done is it's oriented all the corners into their correct places, and very lucky for us, our edges must have already been oriented from our OLL stage, so we actually don't need to do the second step. So we can simply go like this, and we see that the cube is solved. Cool.